Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Confidence Clothes Youth Interest Meeting / Asynchronous Orientation. I'm Christina.
And I'm Irene, and we're so excited to have you here.
So here's the agenda that we're going to go over today. So what exactly is Confidence Clothes Youth? Why are you even here today? Well, here at Confidence Clothes Youth, we believe that clothes can play a significant role in shaping an individual's mindset, and we want to do our best to ensure that everyone has access to the clothes they love to feel confident in. Our end goal is to set up a system that can efficiently collect donated clothes and redirect them to those who need them. We want to create a website that's filled with a wide variety of high-quality clothes that can be easily accessed by those who want to use our services.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about our action plan and how we exactly plan to accomplish our goal. So here's our 6 simple steps to success. I'll go over these briefly and explain them more in detail later, but we're going to be advertising and fundraising for our organization, designing our website, collecting the clothes to put onto our website, sorting, upcycling, and packaging those clothes to be shipped off, doing outreach to other organizations to possibly partner with them, and finally empowering the children. So we're going to go more into detail, but to advertise, we're going to be using the social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And just so you know, we already have our Instagram up and running, so be sure to follow that. So the main purpose of advertising is going to be to recruit new committee members, get people to sign up to donate clothes or money, and draw attention to our cause. And we're also going to have to raise funds to cover shipping fees, website fees, so we're going to have to brainstorm for that. And we're also going to develop our website. So our website is going to accomplish 2 main goals. So the first is to describe our mission and process to the people who might be joining our initiative in the future, which includes people like potential donors, organizations we might be partnering with, or future volunteers to our organization. And we also want our website to serve as the online shop for the people from disadvantaged families to be shopping for clothes at no cost. And we're also going to have to collect the clothes to put onto our website. So we're going to do this in 2 ways. The first way is using collecting volunteers. So donors will fill out a Google form telling us that they have clothes they would like to give, and one of our collecting volunteers will drive and pick up the clothes. And then the other way we're going to collect clothes for our organization is to set up donation stations, which are basically going to be donation boxes that will be open at certain times at certain locations, and the donors can just go and drop off their donations there. Currently, we are starting to take clothing donations only in Northern Virginia because that's where we are based and most of our interest comes from there. But if you're from a different area and are able to get a small group of collectors, sorters, and upcyclers together, you can start holding your own collections. So contact us if you want to do that and we can help you. And you might also have concerns about doing this during a pandemic. And while one of the reasons we are doing this during a pandemic is because a lot of clothing pantries have shut down, we still want our safety to be a priority. So we'll be asking donors to have the bags sealed and ready to be handled by us to minimize contact. And we will also be having the donations sit sealed for 2 weeks before doing anything with them, and ask the donors to contact us if them or any of the people they have in contact with have symptoms.
So after the donated clothes spend 2 weeks in isolation, we will have a committee go through the clothes and sort, upcycle, and package them. So by sorting, we mean like a lot of the donations that we receive will be in like varying conditions. So the sorters will be responsible for trying to pick out which clothes are in a good condition and can be reworn without much like work. But the sorters will also be responsible for identifying clothes in a bad condition, and the clothing items that are identified to be in a poor condition will be upcycled by the upcycling committee so that they are fit for people to wear. This is just to ensure that everything that our users get is high quality and it's something that someone would want to wear. Next, we have the outreach portion of our organization. So this outreach serves the purpose of creating connections with schools, libraries, and other organizations like food pantries that serve a large percentage of people who do not have a high income. And this is just to ensure that our resource will be easily accessible to those who need it. And finally, we hope that all of these measures will allow our organization to empower students and to accomplish our big mission of, empowering every child. Eventually, we want to get to the point where we're able to hold events and actually meet kids face to face and work on building their confidence and, really give back to the community.
So now we'll be describing our committees. So our organization will have 4 main committees that you will be assigned to, which are sorting, upcycling, social media, web design, and finance. So each of those committees will have their focus, but at times we will come together as an entire organization to be working together on a certain task. We also have the 5th committee in that corner over there, which is the collection committee, which is in quotations, and we'll explain that on the next slide. So our collection committee will be made up of volunteers across our entire organization, and their role is to drive around their area picking up clothing donations when a donor lets us know that they have clothes they want us to pick up. And we will be asking the donors to seal their clothes in a bag because of safety concerns. And we want you guys to be using a mask and gloves when picking up these donations. And you can choose for this to be a one-time or a long-term commitment depending on your availability, and volunteer hours for this will be verified. So then our sorting and upcycling committee, I would argue, is the most hands-on and most fun committee. If you, on the interest form, put creativity management as your interest, this committee will also be combined with that. Basically, your role is to sort through clothing donations collected by our volunteer drivers or go thrifting. We have that there, but currently we can't do this because we don't have the funds to do this. But yeah, so you'll be sorting through the pieces in bad condition from the ones in good conditions, and the ones that are in bad condition, you can upcycle them to make them better. So again, this committee is going to be based in the Northern Virginia, DC metro area. If you're not in the area, you can still apply for this committee, but your focus might be on helping the director of creativity create a guidebook to upcycling, or you can get a group of people from around your area and start your own upcycling sorting crew there. And if that's the case, contact us and we can work out logistics. So our leadership position for the sorting and upcycling committee will be the director of creativity. And this is going to be someone preferably with experience working with clothes, fashion, fabrics, upcycling, and they're going to be in charge of the sorting and upcycling committee. Now, by in charge of, we mean like dealing out tasks within the committee, running committee meeting segments during our whole group meetings, and possibly holding work sessions for that committee as well. And for the sorting and upcycling committee, we want you guys to have fun Zoom calls where you guys can just join and be sorting and upcycling clothes together in a virtual room. And the director of creativity will also be overseeing all the clothing to be put on the website and giving it a good quality check. And they'll also be suggesting easy upcycles for committee members. And I said small guide, but this doesn't even have to be like a book. It can just be like a document with lists of ideas, or like possibly a YouTube playlist put together with ideas. Our social media committee will be in charge of creating the Instagram posts and captions to regularly increase publicity for our organization. We will also be possibly expanding onto the platforms of Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok. I put Byte on there because we don't know if TikTok's going to get deleted or not, but yeah. The leadership position for the social media committee will be the director of publicity, and they're going to be in charge of the social media committee and give a quality check to all the posts and be the ones actually doing the physical posting onto our accounts. And they'll also be working with the director of outreach for any extra tasks like writing emails.
Next, we have the Web Development Committee, and the Web Development Committee is responsible for designing our website. Now, our website is pretty important to our organization because it has to serve two very important purposes. One is to appeal to potential applicants to our organization and to outside organizations by like describing our goals and how to get involved with us. Then we have the actual creation of the online store that people need to that people can use to come and buy clothes that they think they would like to have. A leadership position for this web development committee would be the director of web development, and the director of web development would be in charge of the web development committee, and they would oversee all web developments. They would suggest improvements, and they should also be someone with some sort of CS and web development experience. Next, we have the finance committee, and the finance committee is actually going to be a pretty small committee, if not just one person. This will depend on how many people apply to be a part of the finance committee. This finance committee will be responsible for brainstorming fundraising ideas and finding and suggesting cost-friendly shipping methods or something of that sort for us to use. Sorry. A leadership position involved with the finance committee would be the director of finances, and the director of finances would be in charge of the finance committee. Again, this person may or may not be the only member. It depends on how much interest we have, and they will also be in charge of managing our organization budget. Finally, we have the outreach position. However, this position is a leadership position and not an actual committee. So this director of outreach will be someone who works on getting in contact with and growing connections with low-income communities and organizations that serve these communities so that we can make sure that they have easy access to our resource. They will work pretty closely with the executive directors, and in doing that, they will help us try to attain the nonprofit 501c3 status for our organization. And they will also help organize the clothing collections for like volunteer and donation stations. This director may or may not be allowed to be a part of another committee. It just depends on some other factors that will come into play later on. So now we have the application section for both leadership and committee positions. But first, are you up for it? Okay, so your responsibilities as a committee member will be to attend our meetings. We will have 1 hour. We'll have 1 hour meetings weekly. Once every 2 weeks, and this may change based on the start of school and other factors. But for now, you should know that we are planning to meet once every 2 weeks at 11 a.m. EST on Saturdays. You may also have additional committee meetings and director meetings depending on the task that's dealt out to you. At certain times, we expect that there's going to be more work and more meetings to attend towards the beginning of our organization since there's more work to be done. For now, you also need to be responsible for maintaining constant communication with your committee and your leaders. And for now, we're expecting you to do this by email, but later on, we might ask for your phone number or your social media just so that we can get into contact with you in, more accessible ways. You should be enthusiastic and responsible about all your tasks, and you should complete your tasks as requested. Let your committee leaders know if a certain task is not something that you're going to be able to complete. They will be flexible about it. Again, we just want to make sure that good communication is constantly facilitated between you and all the leaders. So your commitment will last 1 year unless you have to drop that for whatever reason. That'll be a detail to work out later. But for now, these are all committee members' responsibilities. Next, we have director commitment. So if you apply to be a director and are selected to be one of Confidence Clothes Youth directors, you should be easy to contact. You should be responsible. And for the first few weeks of the foundation of founding of this organization, you should be able to attend 2 meetings every week. These meetings will take place from 2 to 3 p.m. EST on Mondays and Fridays. For the next few weeks, 1 meeting every week, and before the whole organization meetings will take place on 2 to 3 p.m. EST on Mondays, or 10:30 to 11 a.m. EST on Saturdays. After that, 30 minutes before whole organization meetings will take place for directors from 10:30 to 11 a.m. on Saturdays. Again, more commitment will be required towards the beginning.
Okay, so if you want to apply, we already have our committee and leadership applications open by the time you are seeing this. So these are the links to the applications, and so these are due on August 14th at midnight. So you'll have a week to do this. And in order to apply for a director position, you should apply for a committee. So the finance committee, although it might not end up happening, apply for that if you are applying for the director of finances. If you're applying for the director of outreach, choose any committee and we can go from there. So one of the sad things about not doing asynchronous orientation, even though it's great that you guys can go on your own time through this information, is that we can't have a Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions, you can submit them to this link shown on the screen. And you can choose to remain anonymous, or you can state your name if this is a personal issue, and we'll get in contact with you through email.
So thank you so much for attending this asynchronous meeting. Don't forget to spread the word about our organization, because the more applicants and the more interest we have, the more opportunities we will be able to have together. Again, feel free to reach out to either of us on social media or through email, and we will look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks.